Project AQA, and this is the testimonial for our discovery session that we did with the team. I would like to introduce both the team members first. Tushar and Heron, they both work for AQA, and they were kind enough to give the time to us to do this small interview and the testimonial as well. So what I would do is I will start with Heron to give a little bit overview about the organization as AQA.
Yes, thank
Thank
you. Well, AQA is a not-for-profit community business, and we've been around for over 30 years, about 36 years.
Nice.
And in that time, we've gone through many formations and transformations. But essentially, what led us to this point is two things. One is, over time, we had grown up with three distinct service areas, three distinct brands,
Okay.
which didn't really communicate very much to each other. And then with the transformation of the NDIS, National Disability Insurance Scheme, and the way disability is serviced in Australia, that has also triggered the need for a whole of organization transformation, business transformation. And the core of that is the digital transformation.
Perfect. So there are two transformations going on. One is the culture, where you're merging three different subsidiaries or three different brands into the one, and also then the system transformation, the digital transformation. And I guess that's where we came into the picture, right? And we did end up in liaising with Tushar from right onset. And I would like Tushar to explain how did we came across and how did you find us, then where our engagement started, what made us choose us as compared to others. We're not going to mention the names of other competitors or anyone or other applications, but happy to take you over.
So I think before we set ourselves on this path, there was a massive work on the business analysis.
Yes.
So Harin was saying that we were fragmented into three distinct areas. We were on a discovery journey ourselves.
Okay.
And in trying to converge into one operational umbrella per se,
Yep.
there was a lot of unknowns as a business that we had to discover for ourselves. And in that process, we understood that there is no one business that does the same thing in one particular way.
Yep.
So when I say one business unit, in that business unit, everybody had their own silos of working.
Yes.
So it was up to us to put a line through the sand, get a good baseline understanding of what is it that we want to achieve.
Yeah.
What outcomes do we want out of it? How, at the end of it all, what do we want to become?
That's right.
So coming up with that vision, coming up with that strategy, coming up, Stephen Covey says, begin with the end in mind. I'm putting that to literal practice.
Yes.
So how do you begin with this end in mind when you do not know what the end should
That's
look
right.
like? So that's a challenge.
So that's what you initially figured out, that let's look at where do we want to land. Yeah. And then you started looking for some vendors, some applications that were going to come in and be part of this digital transformation.
So we started off as a process. So we wanted to put a process together.
Yes.
And the process can be evolving. It's a hybrid process. We had something called as the RTM, Requirement Traceability Matrix.
Yep.
We put down our requirements, and every time we went to a vendor, it was not whether they could do it or they could come and deliver this result for us.
Yep.
It was multidimensional. It was meeting of the minds.
Yes.
It was trying to understand that we are on a journey. We do not know where we are going.
That's right.
It is about helping us, joining us, partnering with us in making AQA a better place, not only operationally, but transitioning us from A to B.
Yes.
And in doing so, if we can help them as well,
Yes,
then I
why
think
not?
it's a win-win.
Indeed. So where did the Zoho came in? Because you guys started looking at, I'm happy to share that part, that we looked at almost 47 applications, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, we looked at 47.
Then we did qualify from 47 to 3 or 5 of them, and then we came back to say, yep, out of 3 or 5 of them, this is it. That's the one we're going to go ahead. Let's share that part of journey a little bit.
So it was not a decision that was made only on just one factor.
Indeed.
It was a selection of various different factors.
Yes.
So there was a solution, there was a cost.
Yes.
Clearly, these are two business drivers.
Yeah.
There was also our current ongoing challenge of transitioning from all these different services and merging into one
Yeah.
service. So there was a strategic element to it.
Yes.
There was also the fact that we want to grow as
Yes.
a business.
And you want
How
to look
we
at,
grow,
yeah,
where this growth is, we do not know.
that's right.
Time will tell.
That's right.
We wanted a solution that will also be able to scale with us.
That's right.
Scale up. Scale
That's
up.
the key, I guess. And that's what, Heron, you can add as well. Scalability factor, right? When you guys decided that yes, Zoho can provide us one application, maybe the CRM, it can provide another application, the collector for the collaboration as well. And then we started working on which package going to be the best for the application, for the organization itself. So Zoho One is the one that we decided, right, after filtering and screening and all those applications and the providers. So how did you find Zoho One now? Because now we have already finished the discovery session with you guys. We already started implementing such a big project now. So far, you guys have already been shown a couple of applications out of it. By couple, I mean almost 6 to 8 applications. We already covered it. So what is your experience? How do you feel now?
Well, we were excited about Zoho One.
Mm-hmm.
The concept, I think, is a good one for us.
Yes.
Because you have, even though you may not use all the applications in the Zoho One package at the outset, you have the option of growing into them as and when that the need arises.
Yes.
So it was always a good, it looked exciting.
Yes.
Having seen more of Zoho, as you say, as we are going into the implementation and stuff, what we see has actually really impressed us.
Yes.
In terms of the power of some of those applications, which seem quite simple,
To use it.
to use, but actually it has a lot of
Beautiful.
potential beyond equivalent sort of applications that you get in the market. And the beauty is it's all on the one platform.
Indeed, and it's all included in one package.
It's all
So you
included
can
in
just
one
pick and
package.
choose whichever works.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about IT Solutions All Time as well, right? Yes, Zoho is a product, and we came into the picture that said, yes, we can come and implement this one for you. Yeah. So not only application, but also we started looking at where the organization is. So how was your experience with IT Solutions All Team as well?
Yeah, well, if I can backtrack on that,
Yes.
as to how we found you.
Yeah. Okay.
When we started talking to Zoho, we started talking to Zoho directly. But one of the key criteria that we had set for ourselves is not just that the platform or the product
Yeah.
is strong, but we need to have strong implementers for that product based in Australia, and ones with whom we can develop an ongoing partnership,
Perfect.
a partnership type of relationship, because it's not a fit and forget thing for us.
Indeed.
We want some implementers to be able to walk alongside us
Indeed.
as we grow and expand and go on this journey. So Zoho introduced you guys to us when we
Yes, thank
explained,
you. Thanks to Zoho, I guess.
when we explained what our requirements were. And to be frank, at first we weren't convinced.
Okay.
Right? And there were times when we actually went back to Zoho and said, look, haven't you got anybody else at here? But they kept insisting for what you want to do, ITSS are the ones for you from what we did.
Okay.
And so from at least sort of from my end of the picture, it's been once we got over the initial meeting of the minds and
Yes.
the meeting of minds, it's been a good relationship and a good robust relationship where we have a lot of give and take.
Indeed.
So the interaction has been good.
Beautiful. Thank you. Now, Tushar, you had experience with us as well from the day one. So what is your experience? How did you find working with us?
I think overall fantastic experience so far.
Thank you.
I think the challenge that we both face as a one taking on the solution and one building the solution.
Yes.
I think the challenge that both of us face is we have a very good understanding of our end of the deals.
Yes.
So how we interact with each other,
Yep.
that is always a gray area because nobody else in your respective teams will ever understand that.
That's right.
So I think we've been able to really bridge that gap over the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have reached an area where we are comfortable making those difficult phone calls, discussing, understanding each other's challenges,
Nice.
making that small effort to acknowledge the challenge, talk about it,
Yeah.
and mitigate each other's risks
Mhm.
as the project goes on.
Perfect.
And this undoubtedly helps me in managing my stakeholders.
Mm-hmm.
It helps Haren in managing his end of the stakeholders.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine that it would also be helpful for you
Indeed,
in
it
managing your teams.
It does, it does. So let's talk about the discovery session because that's what we do when we have to take a project of that scale. We want to know what we are walking into. We want to scope the work. We want to put your understanding and our understanding on paper, and that it means it entails quite a lot of amount of work to be done. So what was your experience regarding the discovery session? We came in, we interview you guys, we did interview other stakeholders as well. We put some sort of a process maps, we did put some stage plans, phase plans as well. So how did you find that part?
During that part, we knew that as a project, we have made sure that we have facilitated that event to take place.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how that takes place
Mm-hmm.
is completely driven by business and by you guys.
Yes.
So kudos to you
Mhm.
that we got massive buy-in from the business stakeholders themselves,
Thank you.
that they responded to the way you executed those sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, project has got no input.
Yes.
You're driving those sessions, you're
Yes.
driving those meetings, you're driving those discussions. So there were a couple of hiccups in the
Mhm.
beginning
Mm-hmm.
where there wasn't clear understanding of how exactly all this fits in. But
Yes,
once
it's
that
hard,
meeting
man.
of them, yeah, it is absolutely hard. I mean,
Yes.
if it was a smooth sailing, people will be very cautious. So
Yes.
it's good to know that there are some challenges to overcome,
Yes.
and to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. I think that discovery that you allowed the business stakeholders to make for themselves
Yeah.
was I think a good outcome of all of those processes.
Awesome. So discovery session is good. We did plan. So now I need to thank you guys 2 times, not even once, because the first allowing me to get this opportunity in discovery session, and then also you signed off for the implementation as well. And thanks for your time. And I'm grateful to you, both of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to say, and if it helps the cause,
Mm-hmm.
we are a not-for-profit organization. We are here to help communities, help businesses, help society,
Mm-hmm.
and draw those connections closer.
Beautiful.
If that means that we are able to offer a 2-cent input into somebody else's transformation project,
Yes.
we would be
I think that's the key.
more than
The-
willing to share.
I guess there will be many more people who are gonna
Yeah.
come to our website and gonna listen to this. And although we mentioned this one in the last, but I think this is the most important bit. So we have learned lessons from this digital transformation and organization transformation as well, changing the culture as well. You guys can come and share those lessons with others as well. So it's not a trouble. The details of AQA website will be mentioned on our website as well. You guys can come in and contact, or even you can contact me, and I'll be happy to put in touch with Tushar and Haren. All right, thank you for your
Thank you.
time.